What it means to be awakened. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. It is a beautiful sight to behold one of you having a moment of awakening. We see the awakening experience occurring on your planet, and each time it happens, another light is shining more brightly. Many of you wonder what it takes to be considered awakened, and it is quite simple. You are awake when you acknowledge that you are a source energy being who is creating the reality that you are experiencing. Now, you are not always going to maintain that truth in your consciousness as you navigate through your lives. You're going to have moments when you feel quite separate from the person in the car that just cut you off. There are going to be times when you feel like a victim. There are going to be times when you judge others. But the beauty of your status as awakened beings is that you will always come back to the truth of who you really are. And when that really sinks into your consciousness, you will also be looking at others in the same way. You will see others as beings of light and love. You will see them as source energy, and you will accept that others will create experiences that are different from yours. You will accept their creations without judgment. You will come to know that whatever someone else is dabbling in, they will also be coming back to the truth of who they are, and they will somehow be better off for having had the experience. It is so important that you allow each other to have different experiences and to coexist harmoniously, not feeling threatened at all by what anyone else is doing, and certainly not by what anyone else is believing. When you truly embrace the truth that you are source energy beings, you understand that everything that you experience stems from something inside of you. And so the more you turn your attention back on yourselves for the truth of who you are, and for the momentary vibration you are offering, the more awakened and enlightened you'll become. This is your destiny. This is the destiny of every single human who is living on Earth at this time. Some of you will get there sooner than others, and when you do, you will reach out as source energy with a compassionate hand. Stepping into your power. We have noticed that the human race is very focused upon what is going on outside of each of you. You pay attention to what is happening in your community, in your country, in the world, in your families, in the lives of celebrities. You focus on so much of what is happening around you that you forget to check in with what is going on within you. Part of the reason why you have developed this tendency is because of the number of times you have heard about something bad happening. Whether it was someone you knew or to a stranger, it does not matter. When you hear about something bad happening, and you are told that someone else was to blame, then you keep yourself stuck in a victim-perpetrator dichotomy. And this is not where you want to be. When you are looking outside of yourself, take note on how often a person is blaming some entity outside of themselves for their current situation, and compare that to how often you are hearing about people creating their reality. Now, of course, you can narrow your scope. You can only follow people on social media who are awake and who are taking responsibility for their lives. But you are still a part of human collective consciousness that believes in victimhood, and you are still a part of collective consciousness that wants people to pay for what they have done. It is time for all of you who are awake to be the change makers that you came here to be. One of the easiest and most effective ways that you can do this is by being responsible for your own lives. Take responsibility for your creations. Be aware of what you are feeling, what you are vibrating, and whether you are claiming to be a victim. You don't need to worry about changing the world outside of you. You don't need to change who is in charge. The police, the military, and the government are not in charge, really. You are. And the more of you who take ownership of the fact, the less you need to look outside of yourselves for fear that someone is in a position of authority or power is going to take something away from you or persecute you. Now is the time to step into your power, and it is much easier than you think. You take back your power when you not only take note of your vibration, but you also take the time to shift to a higher frequency. Breaking free from the programming. You are breaking free from the chains that you placed upon yourselves before incarnating in this lifetime. You had to have these chains in place until you were ready to bring yourself to the fifth dimensional frequency range. You knew that there were certain experiences that you had to have in this lifetime to set yourselves up for the full integration of all aspects of who you are and who you have been. And now you have lived these experiences, you have much more freedom than you've ever had in any earthly lifetime. The chains are no longer there, but the programming still is. Part of why you knew that you would be able to limit yourself in the ways that you have has been due to the programming that was in place before you got here, and all the new ways that have been derived to attempt to keep the vast majority of you from knowing your power. The easiest way for you to release yourself from the programming is to turn off your TVs, your computer, your phone, and all of your devices. Get out into nature and feel for the truth of the high-frequency energies that have been competing with the programming for quite some time. Just as you are free from these chains, you have made yourselves available to these energies, and they have made themselves available to you. But the lower frequency vibrations of the social programming has been the interference. It has been keeping you divided. It has been telling you that you have reason to be afraid, and it has you striving for a level of success that has nothing to do with becoming more of who you are. That is why it is so important for you to tune out the programming, tune into the energies that are available to you in the atmosphere, the energies that are coming out from Mother Earth, and the energies that are projected from your sun. You have access to so much more than you allow yourselves to receive, and it is time for you to grant yourself the full access in the here and now. Your memories. If you can remember something that has occurred in your life, then that memory is impacting your now moment in some way. When memories come up from this lifetime, you have many options available to you, and none of these options is better than any of the others. You can decide in the moment that the memory is irrelevant and let it go. You can smile and remember the moment fondly or as fondly as you can and then move on. You can look at the memory from a new and different perspective, one that serves you much more in the present moment. You can see the memory as an experience and therefore as something that has served you very well. You do not need to be a product of your past or your memories. You are not doomed to repeat them. You do not need to be haunted by them. You do not need to give them any power over you unless it somehow serves you to do so. We invite you to have a new and different relationship with your past, with your memories. We ultimately want for you to experience the now moment that you are living fully and completely. But until that time, you are going to have memories come your way, and we just want you to know that you have options. You have choices for how you handle anything and everything that comes your way, including something as seemingly fixed as your past. Of course, nothing is fixed. You can change your past. You can change your experience of your present, and you can change the future that you are moving towards. Ultimately, you are always only changing yourself. You are changing your perspective, and as you do, you grow. You become more of who you are. And you have more compassion, understanding, more acceptance, and unconditional love to give your fellow humans. Therefore, we suggest you use these opportunities as the wonderful moments in time that they are. We suggest that you see all memories as opportunities, and you take full advantage of them in the moment. Create new experiences, because that is why you are here. You are significant. You have the power within you to give yourself that which you desire. It is quite simple, really. This power that within each and every one of you gets activated when you give up the sense of insignificance that has been placed upon you by others. You all are source energy beings, but that is not what you emphasize about yourself. You tend to emphasize where you went to school, what you do for a living, where you live now, and other assorted details about yourself. These details have nothing to do with who you really are, but society emphasizes them. And once you buy into that idea, then you have the mindset and the belief that tell you that the only certain people get to do certain things. Only certain people get to have certain things. Only certain people get to be in beautiful romantic relationships. Now, the way around this programming that you have taken on is not through deconstructing it. It's not through changing society or even your beliefs that you picked up from society. The way that you grant yourself the lives that you want to be living is through the emphasis on your true nature as a source, energy, being. You are significant. Even though there are 7 billion plus of you on planet Earth, you are still significant. You are still unique expressions of that which is source, infinite, eternal, unconditional love. Therefore, do not let any definition of who you are that has been placed upon you determine your value, your worth, and especially your power. You are very powerful beings. We suggest that you spend some of your time every day consciously breathing while reminding yourselves of who you really are and feeling it in every cell of your body. Past life memories and integration. It is a perfect time for all of you to be considering what it is that you would like to know about yourself. As you grow closer and closer to the point where you will simply be your higher self, you are accessing more and more of the memories of who you have been in previous lifetimes. But you have been far too many beings in far too many time periods and dimensions and star systems to remember all of them. That is why we are suggesting that you decide for yourself which aspects you want to integrate now. which memories you want to bring into the surface of your consciousness, and which abilities you want to tap into. The lifetimes where you have developed psychic, channeling, healing, and other abilities are ones that are particularly interesting, and they can also give you some new tools to play with as you access them. Now, of course, you are opening the floodgates a bit here, and you are going to access memories that are not so pleasant, but that's part of the integration process, and you have to take the bad with the good to become the whole you again. Just know that when you are accessing something about your previous lifetimes that you find unpleasant or downright disturbing, you are not that person now. You have evolved from that point in your history, and you have decided to be the beautiful being of love and light that you are right now. It is going to make it easier for you to accept the warmongers, the dictators, and the other beings who are playing in the dark when you recognize that you have been there as well. And that is how remembering serves you. We invite you to ask for these memories as you are drifting off to sleep, or simply close your eyes, open your third eye, and see what you see. See which version of yourself is ready for integration, and know that your feelings are the indication that it is real and not imaginary, that it was something that you lived and something that you were integrating. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you.